Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Week 9 of the NFL season. It is time to cash some tickets. Bryson, how are we, my friend?
Doing well. Hawks won yesterday. I won every bet I placed yesterday. World Series delivered. Today, we carry all that over. NFL needs to deliver. I need to win all my bets today. And hopefully, for the first time, we will hit the parlay today. And it's kind of nuts that, Ryan's job's on the line because you're in his spot. If we hit this parlay, we'll never see Ryan on these airwaves ever again.
Well, I was on in week 2, and we almost hit. I think it was the Chris Olave leg that killed us. We
He
hit
dropped a
everything
tutty.
else.
He dropped a tutty.
That's right. He
Dropped a
dropped the tutty on
touchdown.
the
He
first
legitimately
drive.
dropped a touchdown. That was insane.
So that was a good read. That we just right read, wrong result. But
Yeah.
we're gonna look at the most bet touchdown scorers as always first today. There's not much of a surprise at the top. Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, the guys that score the touchdowns every week. Anything catch your eye here, Bryson?
The real thing that catches my eye is that Jonathan Taylor is below minus 300. Because that brother last week legitimately showed that he's just invincible. He scores all the time. It's all he does is score. That brother scores. And to me, I'm just shocked that they didn't put up minus 400 again. In theory, you can't really bet no. At least maybe you can on Taylor, but it's like you just put up minus 400. Everyone's going to take this. Everyone's going to have Jonathan Taylor. But yeah, Taylor, and then I don't know. The Jamar thing I find interesting too. It's obviously just you assume Joe Flacco. Well, he had 16 catches last game, right? I think, or was that 2 games? No, it was last game. He had 16 catches. So I guess I get that, but it's I don't know. That's a scare. I if I was building a parlay, you will never catch me putting in a wide receiver who has a backup quarterback. That's my honest take. You'll never catch me doing that. So
the devil's advocate there is Bengals offense has looked good even though Flacco's in there because of the receivers. So the production wise hasn't changed a ton, but I don't disagree with that. When Christian McCaffrey was scoring every week a few years ago, what was the max that he got on DK? Was it close to minus 300?
It was minus 340 against a bad team. They were 2-score favorites, and he was minus 340.
So would you consider the Steelers defense a quote-unquote good matchup for Jonathan Taylor here, and that he's maybe a little mispriced at minus 295?
I don't know if I would say good matchup. I don't think the Steelers defense. I think we'll get to this later when we talk on this game, but it's I think the Colts are the fakest trap in history today. I used to think the same thing when the Lions were good the past 2 years against the Vikings. They'd be minus 3.5, and everyone would be on the Lions and the sharp sides of Vikings. Everyone got to the Vikings. It's no, you're legitimately just going to see a team that is significantly better than their opponent. That Steelers defense, first off, screwed me out of a ton of money last week because I bet on them in Sunday Night Football against the Packers. But secondly, it's there comes a point where you just stop lying to yourself. Mike Tomlin stinks. Aaron Rodgers stinks. And I believe that in my soul, in my heart, I believe those things to be true. And I just am not going to let anything get in the way of that. And I think this Colts seems good.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that. Maybe that's your best bet this week. We will get into that after the touchdowns. Let's head to our friends at DraftKings and let's try desperately to win a parlay this week. The chat is living. We've got some names here in the chat that we'll bring up. Bryson, your first leg has to win. What do we got?
The real my favorite bet is Josh Allen. Because you've got Josh Allen in a game where he knows he's going to have to carry some load. And then secondly, they're Moss Joshin or Josh Moshin or whatever the hell they call that shit these days. And it's I just like the probability that they get a PI in the end zone or something. And it's Josh is going to keep the ball in his hands. That being said, I remember one time I bet Josh Allen touchdown, or I needed one more Josh Allen touchdown or something. And he had that bizarro Amari Cooper play or whatever. I don't remember exactly what happened, but people were, this is the greatest play ever. What did he do? Do you remember? Did he was falling over and threw it back? I don't remember what he did.
I cannot recall.
Dude, someone in this chat knows. Someone in the chat reminds. Josh Allen had the most bizarro touchdown ever last year, I think it was. Or he threw the ball to someone when he was like supposed to run it.
Oh yes, when he got a receive. It was a receiving touchdown, I think.
Yeah. Oh
He
yes,
was.
yes.
I believe he got a throwing and receiving touchdown on the same play. He threw it and he caught it himself. I believe it was on Sunday night against the Niners.
Yes.
Because the fantasy guys on Twitter were going nuts about it because I believe he got points for like a catch, a passing touchdown.
I remember what it was. He threw it to Amari Cooper. He threw it to Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper's getting tackled and tossed it back to him. And he ran it in.
That's right.
Yes.
So that would have been
nuts.
A throwing and rushing touchdown for Josh Allen.
Yes.
I believe is what it was. Yeah, the Amari Cooper lateral.
Yes.
Yep. Shout out Bagel and Lots. We've got some
Josh Allen.
This is Josh Allen's Super Bowl. Someone said, Stella Raven said in the chat. We will bring that up when we talk best bets. But you like Josh Allen? I like it. I think the Chiefs' rush defense is a little vulnerable, and I think either Cook or Allen will score. So I like taking the little discount with Allen there. There was one name that spoke to me when I woke up this morning, and it's a guy it's a receiver who's returning from injury. He's at the top of the board in Texans and Broncos, but I like that matchup with no Surtain. I think Stroud found something last week, and he's going to get it to his boy Nico Collins for a touchdown this week. I like the plus 145, Bryson. What do you think about Nico?
Yeah, no, I like that pick. People may remember last year, you don't watch this show. I know that you're probably sleeping on Sunday mornings. Last week, I gave out Xavier Hutchinson, bro. Are you aware of that, Circus?
Yes.
He scored a touchdown. That's insane. It doesn't get any better than that sequence there. I do like the Texans today, and I do like Nico Collins to score. I really like this game's indoors. This is the type of game that, I like I said, won't get too far into it, but I think Texans will win. If this game was being played in Denver today, I think the Texans would lose by 30. I actually genuinely believe that. I think it's Texans are an indoor team, and if this game was played in Denver, which obviously I live in Kansas, I don't know what the temperature is in Denver, but it was freezing. My windows were frozen this morning. This Texans team would get smoked in Denver today. But they're playing in Houston, so I assume it's nice and warm and a nice 80 degrees in there. So yeah.
Third pick, right?
What's the chat saying? Anybody in the chat giving out picks? Anybody in the chat? My boy G Smith in there.
We got giving out some Jordan Mason plus 220. Little Demont. Someone said Jackson Dart.
Actually, do you have a take? I don't hate that either. To you, I actually really do kind of like the Giants today. I can get behind Dart, to be honest. Do you have a take on that?
I do think the Giants will win today.
Where's the game?
Yeah, what's the price there with Dart? Because I can get behind that.
215. I like that a lot.
That's pretty yummy.
That's Dart be scooting. That's a professional scooter.
He's got the fourth best odds on the Giants. That doesn't seem right.
He's the third best odds on the Giants.
He's a scooter. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, I do want to say too. I heard you say from the chat earlier. I actually was going to shout Monty earlier. I didn't see what the odds were. If it's up there with Gibbs, I'm not going to do it. But I actually think sometimes you end up in these. Yeah, sometimes you end up in situations like this where it's I get it sucks from our perspective because he isn't a running back by committee, but it's they score a lot of rushing touchdowns. The Lions do a lot, and it's Montgomery gets 40%, 40% snap. It's I think there ends up being value in these spots and taking Montgomery because everyone in the world's on Gibbs. He's the top of the graphic. Everyone in the world takes Gibbs. And it's what happens when Gibbs gets 4 carries and 2 receptions on the same drive? They get to the 8-yard line. Well, then you got to put in Monty.
Or vice versa. I think we should put Montgomery in because it's always entertaining when I'm watching a Lions game with you or we're working at the same time and you have money on one of the 2 running backs and the other running back is on the field. Seeing your reaction in real time is always worth the price of admission. So for that reason, I think we should take Montgomery.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I mean, I'll say this. I actually think this is an incredible parlay. I actually think this is legitimately an incredible touchdown parlay. I don't know. You can if you got another pick, I'd be down for 5 legs. You ain't ever got to beg me to do 5 legs. But this is a beautiful parlay. It's We have a quarterback who's going to have to go Super Saiyan today for his team. We got Nico Collins, wide receiver 1, on a team that's playing against a team that does not have their best defensive back. And the quarterback just, kind of getting their mojo back last week. Got Jackson Dart, who does not have Cam Scatterbo anymore. And he was still scoring when he had Cam Scatterbo, but now he doesn't have him anymore. And then you got Monty, who's on a team that's probably going to put up 4 or 5 touchdowns today, if not more. And it's like, we'll take our shot. But I'd be down for another leg. You ain't got to beg me, bro. You ain't got to beg me.
There's 2 names I'll throw out there, and just that I like the matchups. Number 1 is Tucker Kraft. Plus 100 is a little rich, though. He had the great week last week. And then a little chalky, but I think the Falcons put up a lot of points today, bounce back with Penix back, and I think Bijan scores.
Ooh. I can get behind Bijan. I can get behind Bijan.
I think these odds are a little bit implied that the Falcons might not score a lot of points today, but I think they're going to score points today. I think they score at least 3 touchdowns against the Pats. Like if I told you right now that if the Falcons were going to put up 27 points against New England, what would you put the odds that Bijan scores at?
About like minus 250 probably.
Then we're looking at some value here.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I'll say this. I don't know why we wouldn't take a 5-leg 46-1 touchdown parlay. I like this. I genuinely in my soul feel like this is going to hit.
I do too.
Dart just went down to 205 too. We're cooking. They know DraftKings is on to us. DraftKings is on to us.
Is this the one?
I think so.
All right, why don't you scroll down so I can read it back? I believe it started with Josh Allen.
Yes.
This is our Week 9 NFL Anytime Touchdown Parlay. This is the one to win. Josh Allen, Nico Collins, Jackson Dart, David Montgomery, and Bijan Robinson. I believe we had Bijan in Week 2 when I was on the show, and he did score.
Yes, he did.
The Vikings. This is the one to win, man. This is
actually like I talk myself into it every week. This is a great slip. This is a fantastic slip, circuits.
I agree. All right, let's go to the public betting warning. Time for Strix to shine. 5 teams.
I know who's at the top of it. I know who's on it. I saw Logan make it today. It's not fair. We can't play this game, unfortunately. Right. I want to play this game, but I have integrity, and I'm admitting when I would be right because I know who's on the graphic.
So you know all 5 teams that are on the graphic?
Yeah, I watched Logan requested this morning. It is unfortunate. I'm good at my job. I paid attention to what Logan was doing, and I saw the graphic. It is what it is. Consequence of being good at my job.
Yeah, I mean, integrity on the show is very important. So I appreciate the heads up there. Is there anything here that surprises you? I'm surprised the Colts aren't on here.
I am too. I am, and that makes me feel even better about how much I love the Colts, in all honesty. But you know what actually surprises me is the Niners being on there. Yeah, because of the reason being that they lost to a team that, like, everyone had Niners last week and got smoked. And then 2, it's like, no, not us, but it's like Giants are like a very just like public loved team, even though like obviously they got smoked last week. But it's like the people loved Dart. They loved Cam Scatterbo when he had he had an ankle, right? When he had 2 ankles. And it's like that's just shocking to me. It's honestly shocking to me the Niners are getting this much love. That being said, 2.5 spread is like the worst number in the world. It's a great number to tease. Like I love being 8.5, but it's like 2.5 is just so scary because it's like, how do you take plus 2.5? What do you like? I always say, like, obviously I would do it instead of taking money line in a situation like this, but it's like, there are so few scenarios where it's like you can feel comfortable that you're still going to have a chance to lose and win your bet, or lose the game and win your bet. I hate that. I hate working with 2 points. I hate it. I hate it.
I mean, 2.5 is the teaser spot. That's where you tease it up to 8.5. That's what I did with the Giants. I think the Giants keep it close. I think they rally around Scatterbo, and the Niners defense is just so bad with all these injuries. I'm not crazy surprised to see the Jags up here off of a bye, but the Raiders getting back some star players from injury. That's a line to look out for. And then, the top three, not a surprise at all to see the Lions up there. Chargers, big number. And then the Patriots, who I think will lose today. I think the Falcons beat them.
No, I agree with that. I'm like honestly just surprised that the spread's that high. And I guess it's probably just on the back of the fact that they got smoked by the Dolphins last week. But it's like Patriots hanging 5.5 in the year 2025, and like I get Drake May's playing well and stuff, but it's like I don't like to me it's like the Falcons are like they just beat the Bills 2 weeks ago. They just beat you know what I mean? They just beat the Bills 2 weeks ago. They're the best team, like one of the best teams in football. I don't know.
And it's also the Patriots just last week were laying 6.5 at home against the Browns. Now they're laying pretty much the exact same number against the Falcons, who 3 weeks ago people were convincing themselves they're a player in the NFC. And NFL's what have you done for me recently, league? And the Falcons last week were let everyone down, knock people out of Survivor, killed all the money line parlays, and now nobody wants to take them. My first best bet is Falcons plus 6.5. I'll tease it up, take the extra point because we're doing a parlay. I guess it's 4.5 now, but before we do best bets, Bryson, let's talk Chiefs balls. Before we do best bets,
yes.
I got a little ahead of myself there with the Falcons love, but we have one of the games of the year every year. This is like the most bet on regular season game, or pretty close to it. Someone in the chat earlier said it's Josh Allen's Super Bowl. He is 4-1 against the Chiefs in the regular season. Believe they've won 2 in a row now. Back home in Buffalo. You like the Chiefs today?
Yeah, I think
you do.
I think this is the type of game where like we could sit here and argue for 30 minutes. Like we truly could. Like, this is a great football game, but it's like there comes a point where it's like it's really a coin flip. And it's like there are a bunch of different plays that you'll be like, if this would have gone different, but it's like there's a coin flip. These two teams are really, really good and have really, really good quarterbacks and really, really good coaches for the most part. And not that great of defenses. And so you end up in a situation where it's like, doesn't matter if you're up 14 with 4 minutes left, you can't feel comfortable. It doesn't matter if you're up 3 with the ball with 2 minutes left. It's like you can't feel comfortable in this game. And where my take is that's like I just think the Chiefs are playing better right now. And I just think that like whatever it is, like this Chiefs team, that horrible start they had this year, just feels like they're like kind of being fueled by it. Like that's just kind of how it feels. It's like I don't think it's going to be easy. No, it's just all crashed for whatever reason. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I do think the Chiefs are going to win today. That's my take. I'm not going to put my life savings on it. Like I don't feel that way. I'm never going to do that in a Chiefs Bills game, but I just think the Chiefs are a better team.
Yeah, I mean this number is a lot different than what we've seen in recent years when the Bills are at home. Normally the Bills are a short favorite, maybe plus a half. It's closer to a pick 'em, but they're getting almost 3. This really just tells you how highly power rated the Chiefs are at this point and what they've done recently. But the Bills, they basically had almost 3 weeks to prepare for this. They had the bye, then they had the Carolina game. I would be surprised if they were looking ahead a little bit. I mean, they've just had so much time to prepare for this. The Super Bowl angle is where I always lean at this game in the regular season, and you could tell. I mean, the game last year, like you could tell that meant so much more to Buffalo than Kansas City. Not to say Kansas City is not going to try, but both teams have some injuries. The Chiefs' offensive line is a little bit banged up. Bills' run defense. I think both these teams will be able to run the ball. So, I hate saying under like in this game that we always see a ton of points, but 52.5 in a game where I think both teams are going to try to run the ball seems a little too high. That would be where I were to lean, but I also teased the Bills up to 8.5.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with what you're getting at. I mean, 8.5 is a great number. I mean, that's 8.5, in my opinion, is like as good of a number as it gets in like what you expect to be anyone of a close football game, where it's like if you're down 14, they score that late bullshit touchdown, and then even when they go for 2 and don't get it, you still cover. Like I love 8.5. I am an 8.5 guy. You can just sign me up for 8.5 at any time. So I don't disagree with what you're getting at. I think that game's gonna be electric, man. And hopefully Josh Allen scores a touchdown.
And hopefully Josh Allen scores. So let's go to best bets now. We do not have a best bet in this game. We think it's going to be close, maybe a little low scoring,
Yes.
and Josh Allen gets in. You think the Chiefs win? I think the Bills win, but nothing too crazy from us here. But best bets, I teased it earlier. I'll take the Falcons at the best number possible. I mean, we're doing a parlay, so we can get no reason to get too greedy with the number. Maybe give ourselves a 6.5.
Did you actually get
line.
6.5? Did you actually get 6.5 the other day when it was available?
I got 5.5. There was a 6.5 that popped, I think, for like 10 minutes, and I missed it. But I'll take the 6.5 here. Like I said, I mean, this is the classic buy low, sell high. I've actually been betting against Patriots the last few weeks and have lost. So this is the week. I think they lose.
Yeah, it's a solid bet. My first best bet is going to be a running back's receptions total over, which will come to a surprise to absolutely no one. I think Tyrone Tracy is going to get 3 receptions today, and I'm hoping that the price on this is not like blown up beyond belief. And it has a little bit. I got minus 111. But yeah, I think Tracy today, man. It's just like Cam was averaging like a little over 3. And Tracy was like getting one in that mix too. And it's like you're playing a team that has a good defense for the most part. The bodies are falling over there, but Robert Saleh is good on defense. I think like young quarterbacks, backup quarterbacks fall into this bubble where it's like they check down more than anyone except like Matt Stafford and Kirk Cousins at times. And so it's like they love just like, oh, well, I don't know what to do. Dump to my over for running back. For a quarterback that does the exact same thing. But yeah,
Chase
I love
Brown,
this
though.
spot. No, not Chase. No, dude, Chase Brown screwed me too many times.
We don't need to go down that rabbit hole again.
They run P-Run out there,
right.
man.
He was my pick. That's totally right.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even with Flacco. That was with Burrow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yes, that was my pick. All right. I know we both like this team. You know, I'm more of a sides guy. That's what I'll bring to this show. You can give out the props, even though I gave out a losing prop last time I was on. We're not going to do that again. We both like this team. We mentioned it earlier. Houston Texans money line. I like, indoors, great spot here. The Broncos are able to do so much with Surtain in there. They can just completely shut down half the field. With him out, like you could even argue the Texans have maybe even a slight advantage, but what they definitely don't have is a crazy disadvantage, which they normally would if Surtain were to be playing here. The pass rush scares me a little bit, Bryson. It does. Can't lie. The pass rush does scare me with the Texans offensive line, but I think Stroud will be able to get it out quick here with no Surtain and his full complement of weapons back. I think Houston continues to keep up the trend of some good play after that horrible Monday night game a few weeks ago. But I was impressed with them last week. I think we get a similar performance to them today.
Yep. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I'm curious your take because I'm going to my bet here. What do you think about the Bengals today? Like, you think they're pretty live?
The Flacco injury, they're at +3. I do like them at +3. I think the Bears are complete fool's gold. I mean, they got lit up by Tyler Huntley last week. Like, lit up.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you. Well, here we go. Kyle Monangai, 3 receptions. I'll be honest with you. I have absolutely no idea what's happened to DeAndre Swift. Is he hurt, I assume?
Yes, he's out.
He has to be. Okay. Yeah, so I bet DeAndre Swift receptions a couple weeks ago. And every single time I looked at the television, this fellow was on the field. Kyle Monangai.
They like him.
And this is the game where the Bears won, by the way, against the Commanders. DeAndre Swift had 7 gajillion yards in that game. 7 gajillion, including like 70 receiving yards. But do you think he got 3 receptions, Circus? No, he did not. No, he had 2 because this guy was on the field the whole damn game. And so I'm taking this guy to get the receptions because this guy plays. And it's like the Swift thing was legitimately the worst thing that's ever happened to me. This dude like would break off like 2 15-yard runs and sub himself out. He's tired. I get it. I'd be tired too. But it's like he was running all over the Commanders and then would get tired and sub himself out. And then I got Kyle Monangai in there. And so I'm going to assume Kyle Monangai has unlimited gas tank. They don't really have a backup running. Like they use DJ Moore. They use Luther. They have Roshan's hurt. They had some. I went and did my DD. They have someone else. I don't remember what his name is. I legitimately have never heard of
I
him.
believe this is a name. I believe it's Travis Homer.
I think you might be
remember
right.
that name?
I think, yeah.
I
He
believe
used to be on the
that's what happened.
Seahawks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, that being said, I think Kyle Malone got 3 receptions today. Is as good as it gets, man. Like Caleb Williams dumps. He's a dumper. He's a dumper.
Yeah,
He'll throw to Rome 700 times, but he will also dump.
I was gonna say, I mean, it's great because he's gonna have full run because there's really no backup here. Man, I remember last year I was watching a Rutgers game. It was early in the season. He broke off like a 70-yard run. I was like, who is this guy? And man, now seeing him make it to the NFL Sunday show is just warms my heart because he was so good at Rutgers.
It doesn't get any better than this. This is how you know you're famous, is when you make it on the NFL Sunday show.
Any other bet? Should we make it 5 legs like the touchdown leg?
Well, we got to do 6. It's 3 each, Circus. This is your first time on the show.
Okay.
It's 3 each.
Okay, then
3 each.
Man, dude, maybe I the Bills plus 8.5, man. But I think that's a little too juicy.
You can't give that out as a pick. That's not a pick. You don't want G. Smith taking. You can't give out Bills plus 8.5. G. Smith going to lay minus 275. What are we doing?
I know. You know what? We're seeing. You're going to love this. Boswell 2+ field goals was brought up in the chat.
I like it, but
that's a strict bet.
But here's my problem. It's a little wet. It's a little wet in Pennsylvania today. I did some DD.
I know,
it's a little wet out
but
there.
It's Boswell.
No, Boswell doesn't miss. That. I know it's Boswell. I know Boswell does not miss. He does not miss in Pittsburgh. But it's like there's another bet out there that I really like. And so if you want to take Boswell as your pick, that's fine.
What is the pick Boswell that you take that you like?
You're legitimately not ready for what's about to happen, bro. You're like legit, like, Circus, I could give you 5 million guesses and you wouldn't guess what this bet is. 1 second.
Oh, God.
Cam Ward, 40-plus passing yards first quarter.
What are we doing?
I love this bet. I love it. Here's what's going to happen. The Titans are going to lose the toss. They're going to get the ball first. I'm going to have 2 chances to get 40 passing yards with a guy that slings the rock.
What if we win the toss?
Then I got to pray we get a quick stop. I'll say this, Circus. You don't know this, but Michael Ritter, I doubt he's tuned into the show today. He's in Vegas. Ritter and I used to bet Elick Iomenor anytime touchdown last year at Stanford. Almost every week. And we bet his receiving yards over. And I laddered his receiving yards against Colorado. And it's surprising I'm here to this day how rich he made me that day. Made me legitimately a millionaire. He went for like 5 bajillion yards.
Was that the game where they came back from like down 40?
Yes. He had 5 bajillion yards in that game. And so what I'm saying here is that I'm telling you, Cam Ward is throwing for 40 yards in the first quarter today. And you can either come to terms with that and join with me, or you can be on the other side or not. Like, it's one of those things that you're going to see on Red Zone. They don't show Titans on there. But they do every week. They do this little segment in the first quarter where it's like 3rd and 17 because they got a false start and a 2-yard loss on a rush and an incomplete pass. And then it's like you see Iomenor catch the ball, spin, turn, get a first down out of nowhere. And it's like, holy shit, you're going to see that. And you're going to be like, Bryson on the show said 40 yards first quarter. I'm telling you, that's exactly how it's going down. I'm telling you that.
Stellar Raven just asked if the yards count if it's thrown to the other team.
No,
can you confirm
which
or deny that that's true?
It does not. If it did, this would be minus 400.
I mean, I could see the gears turning in your head, thinking like laying out that handicapping process there.
Dude, 35 at minus 137 is actually incredible. We're out on 40, and on 35. And don't let me find out 30. I'd lay minus 185. That is so free, Circus.
No, man. That's nuts.
So free.
I'm gonna give that a prop.
Okay.
So bear with me. Nope, never mind. I don't like it. I'm giving out a side. Vikings plus
Okay.
10.5.
Oh, I'm out on you, bro. That's hideous. You had Boswell right in front of you, and you just chose to take a team that
Should I take
has.
Boswell instead? Should I take
Yeah, no,
Boswell instead?
100%. 100% you should take Boswell instead.
The chat's not going to like the Vikings pick.
But yeah, dude,
At all.
Boswell's a better pick, though. That's like, I'm being so serious with you. It's like, Boswell's genuinely a better pick.
Boswell or Butker? I know you're a Butker
Boswell.
over 1.5 field goals.
Boswell, I don't like. Buffalo's a scary place, dude. They got Melly in there blowing wind and
they're
shit.
Gonna kick more field goals. That's why I like. That's why I like the Undy.
It's scary up. Buffalo's got some wild weather up there, dude. And they got Melly in the crowd, bro. He's like blowing air and stuff, dude. Nah, bro. No.
Will DraftKings let you correlate a over field goals to full game under, or is that a correlated parlay that's not allowed?
I would assume you probably could, in theory. I would assume it's like your odds aren't going to be true because of the correlation, but you can probably parlay that. I would assume.
Well, I'm saying if it's going to be like a plus 130 sitch instead of like plus 250. Because that's what happens when you do like.
It's a good question. I don't want to delete the parlay. Otherwise, I'd find out for you. Otherwise, I got my phone. Yeah. I'll find out for you right now on the show, and then we'll get the hell out of here. Let me figure this out for you right now.
Yeah, Chris Boswell, minus 172. So let's why don't you scroll down there, and then I'll read out the best bet parlay.
There you go.
Our best bet parlay, 6 legs, NFL Week 9. Falcons, alt line plus 6.5. Tyrone Tracy, 3+ receptions. Houston Texans on the money line. Rutgers legend Kyle Monangai, 3+ receptions. Cameron Ward, first quarter passing yards, 35+. And Chris Boswell to make 2 field goals. What are our odds on that, Strix? 20-something to 1?
26 to 1. That's a banger, bro. That's a banger.
Yeah. I look forward to...
This is actually a fucking good parlay. I normally don't parlay our best bets because it's like Ryan sucked. Like, just being transparent. Ryan always loses on this show. It is what it is. But not me. Yeah. I win on this show. And you might win. We'll TBD. We're about to find out. I'm taking this parlay.
I will take it too.
Love these.
Do you want to put it in for me?
Today? Yeah, I love these picks we gave out today. There's like a chance that the NFL Sunday DraftKings show changed forever today. And that might be a good thing. That might be a bad thing. I don't know. I truly, truly, truly do not know. But I'm going to say this. We're going to find out. We're about 7 hours away from finding out. That's crazy.
I'll just say that, you're crazy optimistic about this. I love the picks. Win or lose, I look forward to being locked into Cameron Ward's first drive of the game. I will have it on. I mean, I watch every game, so I'll obviously have it on anyways, but I will be locked in. Yeah,
dude,
I'll be locked in.
What's going to be nuts, Circus? I actually like this. If we lose, this is how we're going to lose. Are you ready for it? PI. Or have a guy like 38 yards down the field, wide open. PI. And we're gonna catch it and then like be getting drugged down by like our one arm and then like drop it and they're like, oh, pass interference, defense. And it's like that don't count. Yeah,
we need our GOAT Alec to come through for that one. That's the one where
they still have the gambling guy. They still got Ridley.
I believe he's out, or they released him. I don't think he's on the team.
I love Ridley. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. All right. Well, we're good to go.
Thank you all for spending your Sunday morning with us. We will see you back here in the BR app next Sunday. Strix, catch you later, my man.
Peace.